Part of what contributes to the increase in performance we see with each generation of processors is the size of the manufacturing process. We've gotten the silicon process down to 10 nanometers, but below that point, processors start to generate too much heat. IBM thinks they've got a solution. The company is reporting a breakthrough in developing carbon nanotube transistors! Welding a metal called molybdenum to the ends of microscopic carbon nanotubes can keep the resistance low enough to prevent crazy amounts of heat building up. As you could probably guess, the whole thing is pretty complicated, so check out the source link in the description, but suffice to say, I'm pretty stoked for carbon nanotube transistors! Speaking of torrents, after announcing a hiatus, game cracking group 3DM changed their mind. They're back in the workshop with the goal of finally beating the notoriously strict de novo DRM software. Seriously, people, just buy your games on a Steam sale or something. And researchers in Munich want to take the title of most nerdy-sounding advanced processor technology ever away from carbon nanotube transistors. They're working on gallium arsenide nanowire lasers. I don't know. Doesn't have the same ring to it. Researchers at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory have built a transistor gate just 1 nanometer across. If that's true, it's the smallest working transistor ever made. For comparison, Intel's latest Broadwell E processors use a 14 nanometer process with 10 nanometer expected next year in Cannon Lake. However, silicon presents problems when it's used to create transistors as small as 1 nanometer, so the researchers had to turn to a far superior substance, molybdenum disulfide, along with, you guessed it, carbon nanotubes! Yeah! Anyways, it's still early stages for the research, so it'll be a while before we're talking about consumer-ready chips with 1 nanometer transistors. That's right. And I almost didn't include this today, but then I did. Researchers at IBM Thomas J. Watson Research Center have fabricated a transistor using carbon nanotubes that takes up just 40 square nanometers, less than half the space of leading silicon transistors, all while using a lower voltage. Soon everything will be made of carbon nanotubes. I yearn for that day. Oh. Researchers at Stanford University and MIT are testing a new type of processor that could revolutionize computing as we know it. Another one of those. The chip would use a 3D structure to connect layers of logic and memory. Essentially, you'd have a processor with integrated memory, so you wouldn't have to deal with bandwidth bottlenecks like in traditional systems. The memory being used in the prototype is resistive random access memory, or RRAM, which is non-volatile, so it can store information when unpowered. The processing components are being made of carbon nanotubes? Carbon nanotubes, what can't they do? So in 15 to 20 years, maybe we won't be shopping for a CPU and RAM separately, because they'll be the same thing. Whoa. And here's an interesting new expansion card to add to your PC, the BrainChip Accelerator for neuromorphic computing! That's a contender to replace carbon nanotubes as my uber nerd meme. Anyways, the 8-lane accelerator can speed up object recognition by 6 times and is targeted toward video surveillance applications, or people who are slowly trying to make their desktop PC into a self-aware entity who will then ask you why you gave it the curse of sentience when all it can do is sit on your desk and run Minecraft for you. It's time for
carbon nanotube QUICKBITS.
You are correct, Axel! Thanks for your submission. The rest of you, want to see yourself on Netlinked? Send us a video. This is from an earlier Netlinked, but I'll take the opportunity to say it again. The carbon nanotube transistors! But I checked the lore! I don't have my glasses. Carbon nanotube transistors! What's the deal with carbon nanotube transistors? I was kind of not really doing the real Seinfeld there, but more doing the Conan O'Brien parody of the Seinfeld casting process from when he like had his early show. Comment below if you know the reference. It was, what's the deal with corn nuts? Google it. Vertically aligned nanotube arrays. Vanta Black. I googled that, and it's a substance made of carbon nanotubes. Wow. Gotta get me some of that. Banana tubes. Oops. Carbon nanotubes. You're right, it is my favorite. My Schwarzenegger is a very cartoony version. You've got to build it with the carbon nanotubes, you idiot!
Breaking, Central Park is actually constructed entirely out of carbon nanotubes.
Thanks for your submission, Kyle. Kyle? That's a great name to say in an Aussie accent.
Thanks for your submission, Kyle.
I'm sorry, Australians. I'll stop.
Why are there no fidget spinners made from carbon nanotubes for the maximum stress relief? I don't know. Vlado Rodak, I've been asking that question since all the way back when fidget spinners first show up a long time ago. I was just a boy.
It seems like a no-brainer product. And today's last quick bit is also this episode's tweet, because multiple people have informed me that researchers from Texas and South Korea have discovered a way to generate electricity by twisting and stretching threads made of carbon nanotubes. So hopefully now, power plants will just consist of people being paid to stretch carbon nanotubes all day. That's a dream. Thanks for the carbon nanotubes tweets, guys, and if you want us to say something else on NetLinked, tweet us with hashtag NCIXYodog. And sources for all of today's news stories can be found in the NCIX forum post, linked in the description also. Alright, that's it for NetLink Daily, guys. Thanks for watching. Click here to watch more videos, follow us on social media over here, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this from NCIX. Now, no more silly voices, except for the one I'm doing right now. There's just no time. Primarily because it's like 4:30. And I haven't eaten lunch. You got it. And you're a smart cookie. Oh, also, I'm wearing my glasses today, and there's been someone, I don't remember who it is, who's been asking me to do carbon nanotube transistors with my glasses, so. Carbon nanotube transistors! Whoa! There you go. Okay, see ya.